On Acoustic Tuesday, episode number 79, see a must-have acoustic guitar maintenance kit, learn about an unsung treasure, and finally figure out where that buzz in your acoustic guitar is coming from. All that and more right after this. If you believe that playing acoustic guitar is about sharing the joy of music with friends and family, not just mastering the technical side of playing, then this show is your dream come true. Every Tuesday morning, I give you my list of exciting Guitar Geek discoveries, gear, and new music so you can stay inspired to live your best acoustic life. I'm Tony Polecastro, and this is the Acoustic Tuesday Show. Guitar Geeks, unite! Welcome to Acoustic Tuesday, episode number 79. This is the show where you're going to learn about acoustic guitar gear, discover acoustic artists, and get inspired to live your very best acoustic life. As with all episodes of Acoustic Tuesday, I'm going to share with you my Guitar Geek list for the week, and this week's list is absolutely exceptional, so I'm going to jump right in with a documentary you must see. If you consider yourself a guitar geek, if you like acoustic guitar, if you like guitar in general, if you like personal stories, this documentary is one that you have to add to your watch list. Because if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's totally free. In fact, I just stumbled upon this documentary and I fell in love with it. It's David Bromberg, Unsung Treasure. And now I've kind of, let's just put it this way, I've dabbled with David Bromberg. Every kind of record store I go to, whenever I see a David Bromberg album, I pick it up because he's a great guitar picker. He's a great acoustic guitar picker, great electric picker, great songwriter. He's just an all-around cool dude. He's kind of one of those enigmas. And what I've learned in this documentary is that he's connected with so many artists. In fact, one of his most recent albums, he sat down and recorded with Vince Gill, Keb Mo, Dr. John, Widespread Panic. I mean, the artists run the gamut. And David Bromberg has an interesting story. I mean, he basically was, as I mentioned, an enigma. I mean, he toured all through the 80s, and then I think later in the 80s, he decided to stop touring, and he kind of went through this battle of, this almost identity battle of like, am I a musician? Am I not a musician? What is going on? Well, anyways, he moved to Wilmington, Delaware, started this violin shop, fell in love with the violin. It's a fascinating story. He's helping kind of revive the town. There's a theater that they're working on to kind of revive. He holds acoustic jams in Wilmington, Delaware. Anyways, this is a documentary that I think everybody should see. I thought I knew a little about David Bromberg, but after seeing this documentary, I now know a lot and think he is a true guitar geek at heart. He's just an overall music geek. So this is something you absolutely have to watch. As I mentioned before, it's on Amazon Prime. So if you just log in, find the movie, you can watch it right there, stream it on your computer or your TV or what have you. It's a treat. It's about an hour and 13 minutes long. It was originally released in 2012, and I think it's just a cool little bundle of guitar geek knowledge. So make sure to check that out. Now, I want to move on down our list, but first, I need to share with you who's responsible for making this show function and run, much like a well-engineered clock. So, ladies and gentlemen, the clock engineer, Sir Noah Jacob Heckman Jr. the first.
Well, thank you, Tony. Glad to be here, as always.
I'm glad to be here as well. One of the things that is funny,
Okay.
We were sitting down to just get prepped for the show, and Noah looked at me and he's like, your mustache is getting out of control. And I was like, it's good to see you too, Noah. Thanks,
That's
bud.
not the first thing I said. Okay, that was like after hours of morning prep and stuff, and then we're getting ready. But I'm not your mama. So
it's true.
And I'm not your wife.
But she noticed this as well. It's kind of, I was telling you before, it's kind of like whenever I drink anything now, it's like I'm dipping a paintbrush in watercolors. So it creates a mess. It's time. Whitney was at my hockey game last night, so I usually skate over and see her after the game's done. And she wanted to kiss me, but she literally uses both of her hands to go like this to push the mustache out of the way.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that was quite the interesting.
She calls it the baleen. That's what she calls it.
She calls it the baleen.
Yeah, like the whale like whiskers thing. I think. I don't know. Noah.
Well, before we kick off into this guitar geeky chock full episode of Acoustic Tuesday, I appreciate what you say, but of course you put a lot of work into this as well.
Well, I'm a dork, so I look at this stuff all the time. But I do enjoy compiling it.
Yes,
it does take some time.
We wouldn't be here if you weren't the dork that you are.
Well, thanks. I think.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I want to keep rolling. But first, I've got an important order of business to tend to, and that is your Guitar Geek trivia question. What is bluesman Muddy Waters' real name? Is it A, Bruce Buttermore, B, James Hitchkirk, C, McKinley Morganfield, or D, Buster Baxter? Go ahead and ponder that, and at the end of the show, I'll be sure to give you the answer. Now, I want to dive into the guitar geekiness, and nothing says Guitar Geek more than submitting your guitarsenal to be featured on Acoustic Tuesday. So, I've got 2 guitarsenals for your viewing pleasure. They both come from the East Coast. The first one comes from Brian L., and he is located in, this is such a cool town name, Mashpee, Massachusetts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mashpee, Massachusetts. And Brian, in his guitarsenal, has the following: an Alvarez AJ60SC, a Yamaha FG350W, an Andrew White Freha 142, a Fender FM52E mandolin, and an Epiphone ES339. And he checked all the boxes because he included his dog, and that is his lab, Crosby. And I'm wondering if maybe the dog is named after Sidney Crosby, hockey player. I'm just curious. You're not thinking so?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I mean, this is a guitar show.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, Crosby.
It could be Crosby, Stills, Nash.
Totally.
It could be David Crosby, yeah.
Yeah, that was my go-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're... That was good. That was good. I like your perspective, Noah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. The next guitarsenal comes from Brandon K. in Vienna, Virginia. And first of all, this picture has a couple of Easter eggs that I'll mention at the end here, but let's focus on the guitars first. In Brandon's guitarsenal, he's got an Epiphone EJ200 SCE, a Taylor 110, a Mackay SMT80 Maple tenor uke, a Fender American Professional Telecaster in Butterscotch Blonde, the classic Telecolor, and a Taylor GS Mini Mahogany. Now, a couple things I noticed in looking at this picture. He's got Acoustic Tuesday. He's got the title screen of Acoustic Tuesday pulled up on the computer, which, I mean, bonus points for that. And where all the bonus points come in play here, he's got not only a bottle of Woodford Reserve on the counter, but he's also got a bottle of Bullet Bourbon on the counter. So I think, I mean, in terms of bonus points, you hit the jackpot here, Brandon. I think you nailed it.
It looks like the Bullet came like in a canvas bag or something?
And it's like a satchel.
Yeah.
You know, my first thought when I saw that, I was like, that is like the coolest pick bag anybody could have. Like, you throw your capo in there, your picks, you know, whatever, extra strings. I don't know. It's like a cool guitar accessory bag.
And Tony.
Yes.
For those of us who aren't as guitar geeky as yourself.
Yeah.
Is that Epiphone like a copy of a Gibson model?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
In fact, I had to do a double take because I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
Indeed, you are correct.
Okay, I was just curious. All right.
I'm glad you asked. You asked. Well, so those are our guitarsenals for today. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I've got a guitarsenal and I would love for my guitarsenal to be featured on Acoustic Tuesday for guitar geeks worldwide to delight in and just spread the guitar geekiness. Well, it's really easy. You have to follow 3 simple steps. Number 1, get yourself a guitarsenal shirt. There's a link right beneath the YouTube episode. Number 2, put that guitarsenal shirt on when you receive it and take a picture amongst all of your guitars. And as exhibited today, you can include Easter eggs, you can include pets, you can, of course, include guitars. And the 3rd step is to submit it at acousticlife.tv. Go ahead and type in acousticlife.tv on your browser. In the top menu, you'll see a submit link. Click that submit link. You'll be able to upload the picture and then go ahead and describe your guitarsenal. And, of course, you'll be featured on an upcoming episode of Acoustic Tuesday for all guitar geeks worldwide to delight in. Now, excuse me. Now, Noah, I know that being a guitar geek is important business. And I know that the pinnacle of Guitar Geek Mountain is to submit your guitarsenal. But there's another pillar of guitar geekdom that we like to celebrate here, and that's knowing when you're a guitar geek. Now, we've asked Acoustic Tuesday viewers to finish this statement, you know you're a guitar geek when, and Noah has pulled some choice ones. So Noah, would you please share? I
would love to share. Now, let me just say, several came in, so much severals, that because of the comments that we want to share later today, I've kept some of them for later on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to save a couple that came in for when there's a time where we are leaner.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm putting away in the storehouse so that when the time of famine comes, we still
That's
got
good
some.
planning. That's
Okay.
good planning.
Okay.
Really appreciate that.
So our first one comes from Karen L. He says, you know you're a guitar geek when You will do all the other chores rather than having to wash the dishes.
True on so many levels.
Yeah, it took me a moment before I got it.
It really messes with your calluses. It really does.
Yeah, and hands in general.
Yeah, and I've done the dishes before and then played guitar afterwards, and it just chews up my fingers.
Even Dawn, don't they pride themselves on their commercials of like, well, I guess that's the whole thing. You get soft hands.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, well.
All right.
Dawn's against us.
We need like a guitarist's dish soap. Won't remove your calluses. Okay. And our next one for today comes from Dawn. You know you're a guitar geek when you see a new piece of gear on Acoustic Tuesday and you immediately want to order it. For example, the G7 Performance 3. I also ended up asking a question about Guitars for Vets commission, and I'm currently waiting an answer on that.
Well,
so,
I can give the answer.
Okay.
I can give the answer.
Go ahead.
The G7 Performance 3 capo was so new, I couldn't find an Amazon link for it yet. So I'm going to update acousticlife.tv. So for all of you folks who are out there thinking, what is going on? All of the links on acousticlife.tv, the Amazon links to go purchase a product, capo, strings, what have you, those are referral links. So we get a percentage of the sale from anybody that uses those links. And then we take that exact percentage that we receive and we pass it off to Guitars for Vets as a donation on behalf of all the guitar geeks that watch Acoustic Tuesday. So now that the G7 Performance 3 capo has been out for a bit, we're going to go ahead and update that link at acousticlife.tv so you can buy that capo and contribute to an awesome cause as well. And thank you for noticing that, Dawn. I appreciate that. And hopefully you're enjoying the capo if you did indeed receive it.
Okay, and there's the two for today, Tony. Like I said, I put some aside for a later time, but we've got a good stack of comments and things coming up a little bit later on. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to share some of those comments that from our game show, our quasi game show that we did a couple episodes ago.
Well, the results are in.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I'm excited to hear those because I had some other ideas after the fact.
Huh?
Anyways, moving on to what we're listening to this week at Acoustic Life headquarters. I got to say, so this next artist was recommended by somebody who has recommended artists before, and the person that recommended these artists is really on a hot streak. I mean, this is their third time recommending an artist that has totally knocked my socks off. First artist that this person recommended was Coulter Wall. Actually sent us an album. The second artist this person recommended was Jake and Rebecca Workman. And now he's recommended yet another artist. And this artist I'm speaking of is Nathan Salsburg. The person that recommended it was Acoustic Tuesday viewer Andrew D. from Richland, Washington. And he says this of Nathan Salsburg. Reminds me of a modern-day John Fahey, without the internal demons. So I had to do a deep dive on Nathan Salsburg. I was astounded that I had not heard of him before because I'm way into fingerstyle guitar. I'm way into American primitive style guitar. And this name just never crossed my path until Andrew D. submitted it. So again, it's Nathan Salsburg. Now, Nathan has a whole slew of albums out. We'll get to those in a second. And there's also a really cool resource associated with Nathan that I want to share with you. But first, let's actually hear Nathan play so you can hear what I'm talking about. This is his song, Timonies, and it was filmed while he was at the Fretboard Journal offices in, I believe, Seattle. So make sure to check this out and enjoy listening to Nathan's song, Timonies. Things I want to comment on about that video. Number one, we have to acknowledge the beautiful instrument that is being played. That's a Bourgeois OM, and it sounds piano-like. It's absolutely beautiful. The second thing I want to acknowledge is the fact that I think his picking hand, I think he actually has extra fingers on his picking hand. As in like maybe 8 or 9 extra fingers, in addition to the 5 that are already there. I say that because I'm listening to him play and I'm like, where are all of these sounds coming from? Now, if you watch that video again, you can look at his fretting hand actually playing strings as well. It's magical. It's so cool to listen to. It's so cool to watch. And of course, you can catch more performances at acousticlife.tv/AT79. There's a whole big page dedicated to Nathan Salsburg, extra performances and things like that. Now, I do want to share one more performance here because upon researching Nathan, I found out that he actually plays with Joan Shelley as well, who's an amazing artist in and of her own right, great vocalist, great songwriter. And it's really cool to see Nathan play in a different setting with a duo. So let's take a listen to this song by Joan Shelley and Nathan Salsburg, entitled "If the Storms Never Come." That strikes me about that particular song is the duo guitar part in the beginning. I just love it. I think it's so cool to hear that, and I think it's just a magical combination, those two. So again, that's Nathan Salsburg. Just I mean, he's an artist you need to know. Bottom line, he has a whole slew of albums out. I'm going to give you the rundown of those albums right here, right now. His newest release came out in 2018, entitled Third. Next up was Amsace, and that's with James Elkington. That was released in 2015. Next, in 2013, came out Hard For To Win and Can't Be Won. And then previous to that, in 2011, was the album Affirmed. Now, he also has another album with James Elkington out, and that's called Avos. All of those, I mean, just listen. Literally go to Spotify, go to the Acoustic Tuesday playlist on Spotify, do a little quick sample of Nathan's music, and then do a deep dive on those albums because it is very, very much worth your time. Now, there was a resource I wanted to mention because he has a blog. He doesn't really have an official website. You can find him on Facebook, of course, and there's links to that at acousticlife.tv/AT79. But also there's a link to his blog on there. And the blog is entitled Root Hog or Die. And it's, I thought it was just a cool blog, but I've come to find out it's an actual radio show featuring some really eclectic music. In addition to, there's a resource section where it goes over some of the tunings that he uses, and it's quite the catalog of tuning. So it's a great Guitar Geek resource and just a fun kind of a musical black hole that you can go down. And again, you can find all those links at acousticlife.tv/AT79. Now, I do want to keep moving on, but Noah has insisted he's got a good pile of comments to share. So before Noah shares these comments, I want to encourage you to leave a comment on the Acoustic Tuesday show. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you think of the show. And of course, as you're leaving that comment, if you're like, something's missing in my life, well, it might be because you haven't subscribed to the Acoustic Life YouTube channel. And that's really easy to do. Just click that red subscribe button, and then don't forget to click that little gray bell. That'll give you a notification of each and every video that gets released so you don't miss any Guitar Geek goodness that comes out of the channel. Noah, I'm going to turn it over to you to reveal the secrets and surprises that you've been withholding from us.
Okay, well, the results are in. Well, okay, let me back up.
Okay.
So I got a couple of regular featured comments, but then I have somewhat of a slew of comments as results were in upon your experiment in AT76.
The Noah lookalike contest.
The Noah lookalike, exactly. So let me start with some regular comments that have come in from Acoustic Tuesday viewers. This one comes from Fabrizio A, and he says, "It's Thursday, but I'm still watching Acoustic Tuesday. So I don't know if it's because I'm old or that I'm an acoustic guitar nut, but show is absolutely the best."
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
And our other comment comes from Teach M. That's what it's in there as, Teach. And says, "Hamlet, yes. And I love skulls.
Oh, yeah.
What I love about TAC is that there is never any judgment, and it's always kept light and fun. Thanks, guys."
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now on to the results.
Oh, I am ready for this.
Of the Noah lookalike. So here's what came in.
So let me. Can I get a little context to this?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So was it 2 episodes ago? 3 episodes ago now?
Yeah, 76.
76. We get all these comments on YouTube, and we love reading the comments. So I want to encourage you to leave comments, but never fails. There's with every video, with every show, somebody always pops in saying, "Oh, Noah looks just like whoever actor or celebrity."
And you as well, to be fair.
So yeah, that's true, and that's coming. We've got some plans for that. But finally, I compiled this list of people that Noah looks like, and we did a little bit of a game, and we asked you who Noah looks like. Now, Noah, I'm gonna hand it over to you, and so you can reveal the results here.
All right. So a couple you threw out there I think there was Freddie Mercury.
Correct.
When I was doing my mustache November. We threw a young Johnny Depp in there.
Correct.
We threw
Kit Harington.
Yes.
Jon Snow.
Yes, yeah. Kit Harington. And then there had to have been one more.
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron. Yeah. You threw that out there. Just wait until you see which one I pick for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the results. So, and Stevie T.
The YouTuber, Stevie T, Guitar Geek. Yeah.
So, right off the bat, Robert says Stevie T all the way. LOL. Larry says Freddie Mercury? No. Freddie Flintstone? Yes. And we were talking about that.
I don't know if I gather that.
I don't know either.
Maybe if you had like an orange cheetah print caveman onesie like Fred Flintstone wears.
And just like a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah. Okay. And you just shouted Wilma every now and again.
Pat says, so on the Who Does Noah Look Like? Well, I've long thought Scott Mulvihill, former bass player with Ricky Skaggs.
Oh, Acoustic Tuesday artist as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's who originally came to my mind at first.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Maybe we're brothers.
Weird.
Maybe if he did a 23andMe, we'll have to look into that. Okay. Mike, I get a kick out of this one. Mike says that I kind of look like John Leguizamo.
Okay.
And so...
Okay. Fair.
All right, yeah. Fenrir says, wow, Noah does look like Stevie T.
That's 2.
Now, and I swear I'm not making this up. These are actual comments that came in. Okay, Elizabeth H. says, Noah looks like a Greek god to me. I didn't write it. I didn't make this up.
I mean, that's quite the compliment.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I just made my day. And
right up there on Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
There he is, Noah Heckman.
As soon as I read that earlier, Tony, of course, just right away in with the jokes, just anything and everything. All right, Dee Dee says, I want to participate in Who Does Noah Look Like game. And then she says, check out John Cryer. But then, which, we talked, he was from 2.5
Oh,
Men.
yeah.
But then she says in parentheses, not just John Cryer in general, but she says, bald John Cryer. And then she says it reminds her of an older and bald Noah. And then she ends it with
That's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, question mark, look, you'll agree. Go look at bald John Cryer, and it's Noah.
You're the best.
Now the next one comes from longtime Acoustic Tuesday viewer and commenter, possibly since the very beginning, is Trost Jerne. And He says, maybe not right now, but there was a time I thought Noah looked like Clark Kent.
So you shared that with me earlier.
Yeah.
And on Friday, we were at the office just kind of wrapping up the week. And Noah had one piece of hair that was just out of place. It was down in the middle of his forehead. And I had read that comment, and I was like, oh, my gosh. Kind of Clark Kentish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you thought, did he read that comment?
I literally was like, he must have read that. He went downstairs to the bathroom. He fixed his hair just like Clark Kent, and he's going to see if I notice.
I didn't read the comment yet. So I hadn't seen it yet. But did anybody else wonder why? I know you can get deep there, but he looked exactly the same. That was the only difference.
Yeah.
Just meh. Okay, moving on. Got two more for you. So David says, okay, my first impression of Noah, all the way back to AT1, is the late, great Buddy Holly.
Oh, that's pretty good, especially with the glasses.
I'll take that one. Well,
sure.
It inspired me. I had to go see Buddy Holly again. And it's like the classic, like super thick black rimmed glasses, like what my dad had like in high school playing basketball and Converse and sweatpants or something. Okay. Anyway, thank you, David. I'll take that one. And last one, Mark says, who does Noah look like? With the brick wall behind him, I'm going to go with Randolph Mantooth from the 70s show Emergency. And I had to look that one up, too.
Yeah?
I had to look that one up, too.
Is there a resemblance there?
I don't see it so much. I should have showed it to you, and maybe other viewers
I just like the name.
Can chime in. Randolph
Mantooth.
Mantooth. I did see a picture of the brick wall shot, though. So, so there you go, Tony.
That's awesome.
That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do yours next.
I'm excited. Well, we want to thank you all for participating. That was fun. And it's definitely opened up the floodgates of jokes, because I had pictured Noah as like Clark Kent on Mount Olympus, like with his arm around Zeus, just hanging out, throwing lightning bolts.
With Wilma.
Yeah, with Wilma.
And yelling.
Kicking Dino out of the house.
And yelling all the time. Because Stevie T, he kind of yells a lot, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's try and rein her in here, Noah. Let's get back on course.
Yes. That was super fun. Back on track.
Well, this is going to be very valuable to any guitar owner, period. So this is the point in the show where I'll probably ask you to share the show later, but this information that I'm going to share with you right now is something that every guitar player needs to know. It could actually save your guitar's life. And that is how to figure out where the buzz from your guitar is coming from. Let me give you a little bit of background on this. So I was in the studio about a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, and I was playing along and changing tunings and things like that, and I was noticing this buzz from inside my guitar, and you could really hear it because the guitars were mic'd, I had headphones on, the whole deal, and it was driving me crazy. And I finally figured out what was causing it, but I had to go through this checklist. So I want to share with you this checklist. So if you're experiencing any buzzing in your acoustic guitar, this is a wonderful list to go through, and it's really easy to follow because it starts at the headstock and then it moves to the body of your guitar. So what I'm going to share with you is how to diagnose where a buzz from your guitar is coming from. Now, I'm talking about a mechanical buzz here. Mechanical buzz meaning it's not because of a funky bar chord, it's not because of improper fretting, it has nothing to do with setup, it has to do with something in your guitar rattling, causing a very undesired effect. So first things first, now I've got my Martin OM28 marquee here, and this guitar is experiencing a couple of these problems, which is why I chose it to demo them before I fixed the problems. So my loss is your gain. We can all learn from this. Is that what they say, Noah?
Yes.
So the first things first is if you're experiencing a buzz from your acoustic guitar, start at the headstock, and it could be the tuner bushings. And I'm talking about these little washers that are underneath kind of the tuner posts. So what can happen is if your guitar dries out, the wood shrinks, the metal doesn't. And what this allows for is a little bit of play with these tuner bushings. And you can check it out because if I knock on the headstock of the guitar, you'll hear this little rattle. And that's the tuner bushings and washers kind of moving around. Well, how do you fix it? First of all, try and rehydrate your guitar. Get a humidipack or something like that, put it in the headstock compartment, and leave your guitar in the case to see if that will fix it. If it doesn't fix it, sometimes it's just too far gone. It's okay. All you have to do is take a small, very small dab of wood glue and just put that underneath the tuner bushings. That will actually help out significantly. You can take your strings off and just go ahead and get in there and make sure that the tuner bushings are seated. Little dab of wood glue, and that'll solidify things quite a bit. The next thing that could happen is while you're playing, you might get this weird sympathetic buzz. And the buzz could be what's called behind the nut buzz. You can go ahead and put your jokes in the comments right now. But what can happen is if the nut angle, the actual angle of the slots is shallow, it'll allow for the strings to ring behind the nut. It's this really bizarre thing. It's kind of hard to figure out where it's coming from, but it's very likely it's coming from behind the nut. Now, this is an easy fix. This doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your guitar. It's just an easy fix. All you have to do is take like a leather shoelace or something like that, or a cloth, and put it behind the strings just to dampen them so that it doesn't ring out. Now, you all may have seen Antoine Dufour previously on the Acoustic Tuesday show, or for those of you who attended the Acoustic Live Festival last year. He actually positions a scarf underneath the nut of his guitar, underneath the strings, and that helps dampen the string vibration from behind there. Especially if you use a lot of alternate tunings and things like that, that can open you up to a bunch of buzzing behind the nut. The next thing that I want to share with you that could be cause of buzzing in your guitar. Now we're working down. We've done the headstock. We're talking about the neck now, and that could be a truss rod rattle. Now, how on earth can this happen? Well, the truss rod has a nut on the end, and it could be adjusted up here on the headstock or down here inside the guitar. And what can happen is if that truss rod, if you don't adjust it or things like that, or if it's just kind of loose and not snug to the truss rod channel, the vibration of the guitar can actually loosen the nut. So you can test this by dampening the strings, just holding your guitar by the neck and just knocking on the neck of the guitar. You'll hear a subtle rattle. And what that can do, how you can fix that is just take a truss rod wrench and just tighten the truss rod nut a little bit. We're not looking for it to actually tighten the truss rod. We're just looking to snug up the truss rod nut so it doesn't rattle. So that's another place your guitar could be rattling from. The next thing, these next two I'm going to share with you are actually inside the guitar. And these are a little bit harder to see, but you can certainly hear them. The first one is a loose string end, meaning the ball end of the string, when you change strings, sometimes doesn't sit snugly against the bridge plate. And just that little amount of play can cause the ball end of the string to rattle against the bridge plate. It's really bizarre. It sounds like there's a maraca inside your guitar. It's a real easy fix. All you have to do is make sure your bridge pin is seated and just tug up on the string a little bit to make sure that the ball end sits right up against the bridge plate. The next one, and this is a pretty common one, is a pickup wire. Okay, this is exactly what happened to me. I'm in the studio, I'm playing, I've got this buzz coming from inside my guitar, it's freaking me out, and I'm like, what is happening? Well, one of the pickup wires was sitting against the top of my guitar. Well, the top of the guitar vibrates. So when the top of the guitar vibrates, it's actually vibrating that pickup wire, and the two are kind of working against each other, and there's this really weird buzz. So all you have to do to fix that is loosen the strings, take the pickup wire, and move it away from the top of the guitar. Bingo bango, you got yourself a fix. The next two are a little bit more severe, and ones that these next two reasons for buzzing can actually, I would recommend taking your guitar to your local shop or luthier to get these next two reasons fixed. The first one can be loose bracing. If your guitar has a knock inside the case, you might check the outside, it's all fine, but you go to play and there's this weird sympathetic kind of internal vibrating buzzing thing happening. Well, one of the braces could have been knocked loose. It's really easy to kind of figure that out. All you have to do is take your guitar, hold the strings, and kind of knock along where the bracing is, and you'll hear this kind of odd slap back kind of sound, especially if the bracing is loose. And another way you can kind of help to diagnose this is to take an inspection mirror, which is just a telescoping mirror that looks a little bit like this. You put it inside your guitar, and you can sometimes see if the bracing is separated. So that's a way to check it out. And again, if something like that is the case with your guitar, take it to your local luthier or shop to get it repaired. And the next and final reason why your guitar might be buzzing, there might be a crack or a separation in the top, back, or sides. And because the wood is separated, any sort of vibration that goes through the instrument could cause some sort of rattle or buzz. And again, that's another way, or another reason you would take your guitar to your local shop or luthier to get that crack paired, get it cleated on the inside, and make sure that it's good and solid and it doesn't affect your guitar, the health of your guitar, or of course the sound of your guitar either. So hopefully that helps out. Just real quick, I'll run through the list just in terms of what to check. Again, start at the headstock and then work towards the body. Check the tuner bushings. Check if the buzz is coming from behind the nut. Check to see if your truss rod is rattling or loose. Go ahead and check and see if there's a loose string end, not snug up against the bridge plate. Check and see if there are any pickup wires against the top of your guitar. See if there's any loose bracing, and then of course, check and see if there's any cracks, small cracks that could be causing a buzz or sort of this internal rattle. And if those last two are the case, again, take it to your local shop or luthier to get those repaired. So hopefully that helps you out. Now, if you're thinking, man, that sounds pretty intense, I need some tools for that, there's something I'm going to share with you later I think that you'll really benefit from. In fact, it's something I think all guitarists should have. But I'll share that with you in a second. First, I want to visit Noah again because Noah has some small wins. And I have a small one I want to share too.
I like it when you visit me, Tony.
I'm here to visit you.
Well,
I'm here to visit, have a little coffee talk.
Let's visit some small wins.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So us here at Acoustic Life Studios, we think 3 is a magic number, do we not?
Mm.
And so
that's why I chose 7 reasons why your guitar is buzzing.
And so we talk a lot about the group of 3.
Yeah.
And so that's why, if you haven't noticed already, we generally share about 3 small wins in every episode. So here are the 3 small wins for us today, if I had them ready to go, like I should have had. Okay, here they go. First small win comes from Tennessee legend.
Oh, sounds important.
I got a new Oscar Schmidt guitar.
Nice.
And wasn't so satisfied with the action. I decided to try and fix it myself, and it sounds and feels great.
That's awesome. Good work. That can be really intimidating.
Yeah. And also amazing how just adjusting little things like that can make all the difference.
Totally.
In the world.
That's so cool. Good job.
Okay, next small win comes from emat98. I took some old guitars and an ukulele that I haven't played in months, some in years, took them all down to a guitar center in town. After all was said and done, I walked out with a brand new Martin 0015M for only $8 out of my pocket.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, a lot of times we don't think of guitars as currency, but they very much are.
True, correct.
It doesn't help me get rid of any, but...
Maybe you should have kept them all like in your emergency stash, right? You know, like some people like put away food, buckets of food. You got your guitar stash. Some people invest in gold and silver and Bitcoin. Okay.
We invest in guitars. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Man, I just want to go like on so many rabbit trails all the time.
I can't believe you're just like, and Bitcoin? Gold, hard goods, investing in hard goods like gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
Yes. Okay. And our final small win for today comes from Gary G. Okay. I played in front of people today on the beach in Mexico. First time ever.
Nice job.
Was super nervous. I was horrible. Better next time. LOL.
Man, congratulations. That's outstanding. And the fact that you said next time, I think is of note there.
Yes.
Clearly have been bitten by the bug, and you're going to do it again.
And he said horrible, but I doubt it. If you're at a place to where you're actually getting the guitar out and playing in front of people, I truly doubt that you're what would actually be considered horrible.
I think what happens is in our own minds, we just notice every mistake, every little thing, and it's all magnified. Mm-hmm. But people listening are probably like, man, this is so cool. Music on the beach.
Yeah.
That sounds rad to me.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing those, Noah.
You're welcome.
Did I send you those pictures, right?
You did.
Okay,
I keep looking at them.
I want to share a small win. So this last week has been incredibly cold here in Montana, and it has not gotten above 0 in probably a week and a half, 2 weeks at this point. And my small win is I stuck to my running program. And you'll see as photographic evidence here that when you run with a beard in, like, say, minus 13, there's a certain amount of ice buildup that happens of varying degrees. Now, what's good to know is that when I run, the beard kind of does this part down the center. Well, when it's cold out, it freezes, so I have this Viking look. Whitney was like, I walked in the door one morning and she's like, you can't come in any further. I have to take a picture of this. And it's just always a treat to see how much ice will build up. I feel like I end up carrying like 3 extra pounds of ice on my face as I run. So I just wanted to share that with you all. It's a small win. I stuck to the program.
That's funny.
And I'm pretty pumped about it.
That's good.
So thank you for sharing those, Noah. And of course, if you're sitting there thinking, hey, man, I want to participate in these small wins, it's really easy. Just in the YouTube comments, put hashtag small win and go ahead and share your small win with us. These small wins are so important because it gives us cause for celebration and it helps keep that positive momentum going. We all need it on our guitar journey. So whether you change strings, try a new set of strings, get a new guitar, played something you never thought you'd ever play before, played on a beach in Mexico in front of people, we want to know. So please share those small wins with us in the comments. Now, I do want to visit the mailbag before I share this one essential item that I think every guitar player must have. This is an amazing arrival. Okay, so I got this card from Dee Dee, who participated in the Who Noah Looks Like. And Dee Dee and her husband Kenny sent pretty much the most awesome card I've ever received. I mean, I've received quite a few cards, and they are all awesome. But this one has guitars, a skull, and metal on the front.
And a hoodie sweatshirt.
And a hoodie. I mean, all boxes are checked. I think I might have modeled for this.
Well, what's inside?
Well, what's inside, Noah? Let me share with you this. You know, we do have a guitar pick mug that will turn into a guitar pick wall. It's right here. My dad questions the existence of these guitar picks, but I'm just proving it right now. She sent us a pick from the NAMM show because they went to the NAMM show, and she says this in her card. Hey, guys, what's up? Just a short note, say howdy, and to contribute to the pick mug. It may not be from a local guitar shop, but, and there is always a but, it has a gang of guitar geeks and guitars plus more. And it is local to us. Well, kind of local, being held in Southern California. Keep up the fantastic work. Strums and smiles from Kenny and Dee Dee. So thank you guys for the awesome card and the pick contribution. Very much appreciate it.
Dee Dee is also a Tony's Acoustic Challenge Jam Club owner.
She is.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You know, she's been to all 3 years of the Acoustic Life Festival as well. And I believe she's coming this year as well. That's solid guitar geek right there.
Yeah.
Acoustic Tuesday viewer, Tony's Acoustic Challenge member, Fretboard Wizard graduate, Jam Club owner, Acoustic Life alumni, times 3, will be 4.
Uh-huh.
That's
We'll have to go back in the archives. Did we get a Guitar Arsenal pick from her at all?
I want to say her and Kenny sent us one very early on.
Yeah, I think so too.
So she's also submitted a Guitar Arsenal.
And
all the boxes are checked.
And that's like the pinnacle.
I can't even exist right now. All right, at this point, I do want you to please share the Acoustic Tuesday show with your Guitar Geek friends. The whole point of Acoustic Tuesday is to get guitar geeks together every single Tuesday. We get together, we wave our Guitar Geek flag, we talk about gear, we talk about artists, we talk about living our best acoustic life, and we want to spread the message. So please, please do us a favor and share this show with your Guitar Geek friends. It's as easy as sending them a YouTube link, encouraging them to subscribe to the Acoustic Life YouTube channel, and also sending them to acousticlife.tv to check out all the goodness that awaits you there. Now on to my last and final item of the day. This is something that every guitar player must have. If you own an acoustic guitar, this is something that needs to be in your possession. It just came out, I believe it was just released at the NAMM show, and it's made by Cruztools, and it is the Acoustic Guitar Tech Kit. Now, if you're anything like me, actually, I pulled the mirror out of this. It has a mirror in it, too. I'll just put that there. If you're anything like me, this is the scenario. When you go to change strings, you ask your significant other, in my case, Whitney, where the wire clippers are, where my string winder went, and where my extra strings are. Every time I change strings, I just totally give this, I offer up this barrage of questions to Whitney, and she's just like, I don't know where your stuff is. Just keep track of it. And to that, I respond like, oh, yeah, that's probably true. I should probably keep track of my stuff. But enter Cruztools and this acoustic guitar tech kit. It's all in one spot. It's super convenient. It comes in this nice kind of canvas-backed pouch with a clear cover there. It zips around. It's got 2 different size truss rod wrenches for internal adjustment for those truss rod access from inside the body of the guitar. It's got the classic kind of Gibson headstock adjustment truss rod wrenches. It's got a small steel ruler, which is great for string height. Feeler gauges, which is also good for string height and general setup. It's got a string winder. Actually, this string winder is stellar. It functions so well. You know those string winders that you get and you're like, man, these just feel solid. This one is one of them. It's got a capo, just kind of a easy, like quick elastic capo that you can help to you put it on the first fret to help look at neck relief. It's got a wire cutters and an inspection mirror, which is great for those things I was talking about earlier, checking out if your guitar is buzzing or not. And it's all in this convenient little pouch. It retails for about $60, and as I mentioned, it was just released at NAMM this year. And I looked at Amazon, I looked at a bunch of major music retailers, and I couldn't find it, but I did find it at Sweetwater. It came in super quick. It was like 2 days shipping, and it's the first experience I've ever had with Sweetwater, and my experience was delightful. They called me immediately after the order was sent in. To make sure everything was okay. Like if I had any questions, I had somebody to talk to. It showed up in fine condition, and they put candy in the box. They put candy in the box when you order stuff. So not only do you get the gear that you order, you get a little sugary snack, which is awesome. I always appreciate it. But the focus is not on the candy. The focus is on the Cruztools acoustic guitar tech kit. This is again something every guitar player should have because it's all in one spot. And no longer am I looking for stuff, and everything I need is in this convenient little pouch. You can throw it in your gig bag. It's also, I should mention this, it's got a little Velcro pouch in the back that you can put strings in, but they include a nice little setup guide, so you kind of know what you're doing. Now, I will say this is focused more on electric guitars in terms of the content in this, but the basics are there, and of course, you can always go online to look up various setup information for acoustic guitars, but all the tools you need to do so are right here. And you can always throw extra strings in that pouch, so pretty cool little unit that I think everybody should own. I really do. When I got this, I was like, man, $60, that's steep, but it's all in one spot. You can assemble a kit yourself, but I guarantee you'd be spending more than $60. And these are good tools. In fact, I was just reading the packaging, and it said that if any of those tools fail, you call Cruztools up and they'll actually replace them. No questions asked. It's a lifetime guarantee, so that's pretty awesome, especially for guitar geeks that use those tools quite frequently. So again, that's the Cruztools acoustic guitar tech kit, and it just came out. I believe it's available now. Definitely at Sweetwater, but I think it'll be probably coming to Amazon soon and other outlets, etc. So make sure to check that out. Again, everybody should own it. Noah, we're pretty close to the end of the checklist here. Mm-hmm. We got one important item of business, and this one hits close to home because it's a hometown hero of mine, kinda. Well, what I'm trying to get at is we have to finish up Guitar Geek trivia.
Gotcha.
So here, just in quick review, here was your Guitar Geek trivia question. What is bluesman Muddy Waters' real name? Is it A, Bruce Buttermore, B, James Hitchkirk, C, McKinley Morganfield, or D, Buster Baxter? Let me first say before giving the answer, I was really proud of the answer. All of these names are made up except for one. And I was pretty proud of the names that I came up with.
I think I guessed.
You guessed one of the wrong names.
I did, yeah.
Anyways, if you answered C, McKinley Morganfield, you're absolutely correct. McKinley Morganfield, known professionally as Muddy Waters, was an American blues singer-songwriter and musician who's often cited as the father of modern Chicago blues and an important figure on the post-war blues scene. He had his first introduction to music in church. Quote, I used to belong to church. I was a good Baptist, singing in the church. So I got all my good moaning and trembling going on for me right out of the church. By the time he was 17, he had purchased his first guitar. Quote, I sold the last horse that we had, made about $15 for him. Gave my grandmother $7.50. I kept $7.50 and paid about $2.50 for that guitar. It was a Stella. The people ordered them from Sears Roebuck in Chicago. Muddy Waters grew up in the Stovall Plantation near Clarksdale, Mississippi, and at 17 was playing that Stella guitar and the harmonica, emulating the local blues artists Son House and Robert Johnson. Pretty darn cool. Muddy Waters was the first blues musician that I ever really got into. In fact, my Uncle Paul got me into Muddy Waters, and his dog, he had a little Scotty, you know those black Scotty, the Scottish Terriers? Mm-hmm. The dog's name was Muddy. So there's a lot of trivia there. But I mean, let's just think of the brilliance of Buster Baxter, Bruce Buttermore.
That's the one I chose.
And James Hitchkirk. That's great.
McKinley Morganfield.
McKinley Morganfield. That was Muddy Waters' official real name. Noah.
Yeah.
We've done it.
We've done it. You know, Tony?
Yeah.
The alarm was set so that it went off at the exact time it was meant to this morning.
Correct. We've got bundled up Acoustic Tuesday.
Yes.
We've gotten it ready to walk to the bus stop.
In 0-degree weather.
We've loaded it on the bus. We stayed at the corner. We waved bye to Acoustic Tuesday number 79. And we're ready to welcome another episode next week, of course.
Wow, that was great.
So speaking... I almost got teared up a little bit. So speaking of next week, let's take a sneak peek. Let's see what's going to happen next week on Acoustic Tuesday. We're going to learn about a rechargeable internal mic pickup for your acoustic guitar. Pretty awesome stuff. Get the inside scoop on the Acoustic Hottie, little-known group, and hear from a past Acoustic Tuesday artist. I'm really excited about that. So you're going to have to check out Acoustic Tuesday next Tuesday. Of course, Acoustic Tuesday airs every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on YouTube. And of course, in between Tuesdays, you can check out anything Acoustic Tuesday at acousticlife.tv. Please go there, do a deep dive on anything we've ever featured on Acoustic Tuesday. There's bonus performances, extended reviews, and of course, purchase links. So anything we ever review on Acoustic Tuesday, you can purchase directly from acousticlife.tv. Those are Amazon referral links. We get a percentage of those sales, and then we take that percentage and pass it on to Guitars for Vets as a donation on behalf of all Acoustic Tuesday viewers and guitar geeks across the world. I'm ready for a nap. Noah and I wish you the best possible rest of your Tuesday. We wish you the best possible rest of your week, and we'll see you next Tuesday, of course, on Acoustic Tuesday. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us today. Guitar Geeks Unite.